Greetings, everyone. Greetings, and welcome to another amazing episode of Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie, and I've received so many inquiries regarding how to write a book because I am a book writing coach. I'm also a business strategist and, of course, a podcaster. And this is Beyond Boardroom Business with your host, Coach Stephanie. So, when it comes to writing a book, right, make sure you take notes because this is going to save you a lot of unnecessary time. And a lot of people usually spend months, even years, trying to put this together. And I'm going to give you the simple tips, the simple steps, and the tips to make sure that you're able to publish your book your way. And so, again, I'm Coach Stephanie. And my first book that I wrote was back in 2012. It was a nonfiction book called Image is Everything. What does your image say about you? I wanted to write the book because I was watching the beginning of the Housewives reality shows. And I was speaking with one of my mentors and I was just expressing my displeasure with what I saw of how women were being portrayed. And at that time, my mentor asked me, well, what are you going to do about it? And that sparked my inspiration behind writing my first book. Since then, I've written many other books and I've helped many others create bestsellers as well. Um, and I really enjoy doing it. I love movies. I love writing. I just love a great story. And so I want to make sure that I can help others create the stories that are within them as well, because everyone has a story to tell. So let's just dive right in, shall we? When it comes to writing um, a book is really creating a legacy. Now, we're talking about a book that's really worthy of reading, first of all. Um, if you've ever had conversations and people are interested in what you have to say, chances are you might be able to write a great book. You might be able to be a great storyteller. Now, when it comes to preparing for writing a book, your first book, you want to make sure people choose what works best for them when it comes to writing. Some people like the old fashioned pen to paper. Some like to just type up their work on MS Word document, Google document, or some people might even like to just record their story and then have it transcribed later. The choice is up to you, what you choose. But the main thing is that you take the time to think about what it is that you want the world to read that you have to offer. So the first thing is, again, making sure you're properly planning what your book is going to be about. You want to clarify the purpose for writing your first book or any book. You want to clarify the purpose. After you clarify the purpose of your book, then you kind of want to make sure you understand the genre that you are targeting your audience, your readers, to read your book. So, what kind of audience do you envision of people reading your book? That's very important. Also, when it comes to the format of your book, is it going to be a nonfiction book? Is it going to be a fictional book? Is it going to be an autobiography? Is it going to be a memoir? Is it going to be a text, a workbook? You want to know what it is you're doing before you get into it. And then again, you might just want to get started with your story and then figure out the rest of the answers as you go along. The main thing is to get started. Implementation is the biggest challenge, the biggest obstacle for people completing their story, starting and or completing their first book. So after we talk about formatting the book and making sure you know the genre and how you're setting up your book. If it's fictional, hey, it's fiction. If it's nonfiction, then make sure that it's accurate. All right. Then we get into outlining your story. So what I tell my clients is to really look at their chapters. The chapters really show the flow of the book. And if you're not able to necessarily think of the names of the chapters at that particular moment in time, at least know what you're going to be talking about in those chapters. So it's really good to have big charts in your area, in your office, so you can just write, or sticky notes. I use all kind of different things to make sure that whatever I'm putting together comes together. So again, the chapters is really one of the important parts of the book. So after you get the chapters together and you've outlined the structure of your book, you want to take time to create a schedule where you can sit down somewhere quiet, hopefully. Some people like to have some kind of noise going on in the background. The main thing is that you're able to concentrate and focus on what it is that you want to write. If you write one sentence, that's fabulous. If you just can't stop and you're just in the motion, in the flow, then go for it and write 3 chapters, 10 chapters. There's no time limit, unless you are like a journalist or something like that. But when it comes to writing your book, you want to make sure that you schedule time. It's almost like fitness. You want to schedule time for fitness so you know that you're getting it in, right? So when you write this book, if you really want to see it to the end line, to the end goal, you want to make sure you schedule time. It could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be monthly, but chances are it's going to take a long time for you to get that completed. And then don't forget to take advantage of AI, because it's here. And AI is not used to create your story. It might offer suggestions for what it is you're trying to convey, and maybe you're not able to explain it in layman's terms, or however you want to lay out what it is that you're trying to convey, and then possibly AI can help you. But again, AI is not 100%, and you definitely don't want AI to write your book if it's of your essence. Because if it's AI, AI doesn't have a soul, so it doesn't really give a great book. And when you pick up a book, you want something great, right? Hopefully. So we've talked about the outline and the chapters and scheduling your time. Now let's get into writing the book. Now, when it comes to writing the book, some people use MS Word, some people use Google Doc, or what documents, or whatever it is that you use. You want to make sure that you just hang in there and feel comfortable with it, know the tools around it, and don't worry about being so specific with your grammar and with punctuation when you're first getting your story out. Just get it out of your head. It's really important to not think about, am I spelling this correctly? Is this the correct adjective? Is this the correct verb? You just want to get it out of your head. Once you get it out of your head, then I like to suggest to walk away for a few hours, a day, a week, whatever your time limit is on completing the book. Step away and then come back and look at it. And then now you're able to look at your rough draft of all the thoughts that you've had. And now you're able to put the certain thoughts in certain columns or rows or however you want to piece it together. But the main thing is, whatever is in alignment with your focus for putting the book together, that's what you keep. Everything else you discard. And then once you pick and choose what it is that's going to stick with what you've decided to write about, now it's time to go deeper, right? Because now you've created the storyline. The storyline makes sense to you, right? And you've asked AI to help you, and maybe you haven't, but while it's free, I would advise to take advantage of it. But again, do not allow AI to write your book unless you really don't care and you're just trying to put anything out there to collect money. And that would be sad if that's the case, because I believe in authenticity. I believe in, if you're going to put something out there, if you're going to birth a book, make sure it comes from the essence of who you are and why you're putting it together, and that it makes sense, because people are looking to get inspired, motivated. People, it's a mental mindset that you put people through reading your book. So you want to make it worthwhile. And then, especially if it becomes a bestseller, then you definitely want to be interviewed and you want to be proud of what you produced, right? Okay, so we've talked about writing the book, getting it out. Now you take the time to edit the book. Now, if you're not someone who is very versed in how to properly edit punctuation and grammar, and then I strongly advise that you contact me, Coach Steffanie, or some other book writing coach. But the main thing is, you definitely want to have a professional set of eyes look at your gift, your baby. I look at books as babies, because you're able to mold it and you're able to shape it, and it's the essence of you. And so you want to make sure that it is conveyed properly, and always having a second set of eyes on your product helps you to see if there's anything that you may have missed, because the best of the best can still miss a thing or two. And so it's always great to have a second set of eyes. And if you can have a professional editor, I strongly suggest that you do that. All right. After that, then I will also advise that you have some readers to read your book that could possibly add some testimonies to your story, to your book, that usually goes on the back of the book. You want people that will give an honest testimony to you, because before you publish your book, you might be able to learn a thing or two that could possibly help, make your book that much better from the testimonies, from the thoughts of friends and family, or a professional ear, a professional editor. And now, when it comes to publishing the book, one of the most important things is your book cover. The book cover is like 75% of what is the decision making when it comes to if a reader is going to look at your book, pick it up, and see if they're interested or not, or pass it by for the next book. And I mean, tangible books, hardcover, softcover books are still in. They're always going to be here. And yes, even when it comes to an ebook, that cover makes a lot of difference before someone determines if they're interested in opening the first page. So that book cover and also that book title. Now, some people like to write the book title first, and some people prefer to write the book title after they have completed the book, because you never know. By the time you start your story and then you get into the thick of it, things might go left or right and change all of a sudden everything. And so that's why a lot of people will wait until the end of the book and then get a feel of if they still feel what they thought they were going to name it in the beginning initially may change. You never know. I always say write with pencil instead of pen, because you want to stay open. You never know what kind of downloads you receive. If you really might just change all of a sudden. I mean, you just never know. But writing books they're amazing. I love it. And I think it's a great skill to have. It's great for business. It's great for entrepreneurs, for business owners to expand their brand, because when you write a book, you become an instant expert almost. But of course, the content must come through. It must be authentic. Hopefully, you've researched whatever it is that you're discussing, because you don't want to put something out there that you will later be embarrassed about. At least none of my clients would do something like that. And I believe in being proud of whatever it is that you produce, whatever it is that you publish. And then when it comes to publishing, after you've created your book cover, your book title, of course, you get the testimonies and the ISBN and the barcode on the back of the book and a summary, or whatever it is that you would like to put on the back of the book, because that is optional. But what is definite is the book cover and the book title on the front. And on the spine, which is the side of the book, you would like to also decorate that, which makes the book complete. So when it comes to publishing, you can self-publish or you can do it the traditional way. I am a firm believer of self-publishing because I keep all of the profit, all of the royalties, all of this decision making. It's my story. I love stories. I love watching stories. I love trying to decide how a story should end when I'm watching a movie. I mean, I go all in when it comes to stories, because you get to see the mind of the author. And to me, that's something that just really interesting to me. But I love books. I even love the smell of a book. You're not a true book reader unless you love the smell of a book. But when it comes to all jokes aside, writing a great book can go beyond generations. It can inspire people all over the world. So it's something that you should really take pride of when it comes to writing a book or writing books. It could be a series. It could be, I mean, it's there's no limit when it comes to creativity. And that's another reason why I love writing a book and why I love helping others write their books, because I've come across some great authors and some great people who are interested in writing a book, and they have some amazing stories, especially when it comes to like the story of their life, an autobiography. Wow. How many people do you know personally that has a story within them, and including yourself, that others can learn from, can enjoy just learning about that person or whatever the experience they have gone through or would like to go through. And then not to mention something like sci-fi, science fiction, writing, creating movies. You can make a lot of money with it. The options are endless with what you can do. And it starts with pen to paper. Just imagine everything you see. It starts within the mind, and the book is no different. So after you create the cover, you create the title, you format the book, you decide if you're going to self-publish or if you're going to go the traditional way. And then there are ways to make your book a bestseller. I'll leave that for those who contact me, Coach Steffanie. And for those who are just listening, Coach Steffanie is spelled with 2 F's, fulfilling fabulous. I've always had to spell my name, and I will have to continue for the rest of my life. But Coach Steffanie has 2 F's. Again, that's fulfilling fabulous or financially free, or however you want. Just make sure it's Steffanie with 2 F's. And that's my website, CoachSteffanie.com. And of course, the website for this podcast, which is beyondboardroombusiness.com. You can find my episodes on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Alexa, on iHeartRadio. I just love what I do. I love entrepreneurship. I love helping people have the opportunity to expand their brand, because why not? Why not you? I know that life brings all kinds of different challenges, but I believe in seeing all of the opportunities that are all around you. There are opportunities everywhere. You just have to see with the right set of eyes. And then once you have your mind set on, oh my gosh, the money is endless, right? And then it all comes back to your creativity and putting your thoughts, getting your thoughts out of your head and putting it in a book. As a coach, I enjoy helping my clients see the possibilities of their book and of their brand. Because once you have a book, ladies and gentlemen, now you can go on stage. Of course, the prerequisite is that it's a great book. It's a great product. So getting on stage and speaking your truth, or whatever it is, the experience you have, the knowledge you have, it is something that someone else can benefit from, and they would love to listen to you and love to learn from you. And as a business owner, it's nothing greater. It's one of the best marketing tools to have as a book, because now it sells for you 24/7. Of course, with a book, you have a website so people can find you 24/7. So there are plenty of ways to be creative with writing a book or writing books. And the amount of pages, it's really up to you. It just really depends on having a great story. And then again, if you don't want to write a fiction or a nonfiction, if it's something that you know how to do inside and out, maybe you might want to create a program, a textbook, a workbook, right? It's all the kind of things that you can do. But again, I strongly suggest that you do the research. I strongly suggest that you hire a professional person to ensure that all of this time that you're putting into this book is going to be worth it. Because I've seen some poor books, poorly created books. And if your grammar isn't proper, if it's run on sentences, if it's paragraphs or a full page without a paragraph, for example, you're going to turn off a lot of people. It's a lot that goes into a book outside of the story itself, but you can leave that for the professional to put it together and just have the essence of your content. And then I'm also great with ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is for clients who just have the concept of what it is that they want to write about. And I will interview them, ask them some questions, and take it away from there. Because I am great at research. I used to be a court reporter. I'm from Chicago, and I've learned research. And that's pretty much what helped get me started when it comes to writing a book. That's what made it easy for me. And it's really not hard. It's not really challenging unless you have a lot of different things that occupy your time and you're not able to schedule your time wisely. But if you really want this, like I used weight loss, if you really want to lose weight, you really have to put the time into it. And so, again, if you really want to create this book and make a difference, create a legacy, become a instant guru, write your book. I love what I do. I love helping others. And again, I promise you, there's a book in you. You can either help people or you can entertain people or whatever it is. The choice is yours. And it's, it's up to you. I strongly agree that when it comes to writing a book and you see the results of it and how you've influenced people and helped people, it's nothing else like it. Write the book. I don't know how else better to tell you to write the book other than to write the book. I am currently working on The Power of 33. It is launching soon. It is 33 authors, trailblazers that are talking about things that have happened in their life, what they've witnessed, what inspired them, whatever it is, right? It's an amazing book. I have some heavy hitters in here. I've gone through all of their stories. And as a proofreader, you're going to read your story over and over again because you just need to know that you've crossed all the T's and dotted all of the I's. But this book here, The Power of 33, when Her Excellency Shantae Lene Hefford approached me with this project, I was so excited. And I can't wait for all of you all to learn about it as well. So again, The Power of 33. It's about to launch next month in the month of August 2025. We're doing a lot of things right behind the scenes as far as updating all of the content for the marketing material, but I will be interviewing some of the authors, if not all of the authors. I will be interviewing them soon because they have some great stories to tell. And again, I want you to make sure you check out the book, The Power of 33. And because, wow, yeah, it's great. I don't want to give too much away until we drop it in August. So until then, just enjoy your day. I'm glad that you spent time with me and learned hopefully a thing or two about how to write a book and the power of publishing. And because once you publish one, you can publish, it's endless. This is a skill, this is a trade that is amazing. There's no limit to it. And you can make an amazing influence on the world. You can push a movement with the power of a pen. So I hope you all enjoyed my take on why I believe publishing is so important. Write your book. I'm talking to you. It's time to write your book. And if you have written a book, it's time for the next one. There is no limit to getting the thoughts out of your head and just amazing the world with what you have, your brilliance, what you have gone through and have achieved, conquered. It is not just meant for you to go through these challenges. It's meant for you to reach back in the form of a book or on stage, but it's your responsibility to reach back and help others along the way, because we're all in this together, right? This is a journey. It's not just the destination. And hopefully during this journey, you're able to help others as others have hopefully inspired you. I hope you all enjoyed this session tonight, and I look forward to receiving more of your questions or comments regarding the different topics that we discuss on Beyond Boardroom Business with your host, Coach Steffanie. And until the next time, stay prayerful, stay present, and stay powerful. Peace.